back to another episode of Be Sure to Cook. Today we're going to make something very special. We're going to make dip fried chicken my way. So stay tuned and let's do this. I rinsed the chicken. I cut it up. But if you don't know how to cut a chicken or cut it up or anything like that, just get pieces. Get wings, thighs, legs, or get your favorite. You can do all thighs, you can do all breasts, wings, anything you want, or you can do a mixture. So right now, I cut it up and I rinsed it off, and I'm going to give it a bath. I'm taking a whole tablespoon of salt. I'm going to be doing like 2 tablespoons of salt. That's a lot of salt there. But this salt is sea salt. And I'm going to put about 2.5 cups of cold water. And we're going to stir this until this salt dissolves. So let's do this. Okay, this is 2 cups of cold water. And I'm going to try to stir and dissolve this really good into this cold water. So I'm stirring it until all this salt dissolves. And I have, because I got it in this bowl, and I have a strainer that goes with this bowl. So what I'm doing is I'm dissolving the water, and so far I put 6 cups of water with 2 tablespoons of salt, but you could add another tablespoon is what I did. I add another half tablespoon of salt to my water, and I want my water to be like a salt water. Not like you're doing a salt bath, but you want a salt. That's exactly what you're giving. You're going to give this chicken a nice salt bath. So after the salt has dissolved, which I don't see it anymore. I see a little bit what I just put in there. You just keep stirring it a little bit and it dissolves completely. That's what you want. I'm going to put this in here, and I have my chicken that I had cut and I rinsed off, and we're going to place this chicken in here, and we're going to let it sit for 30 to an hour while we make all of our fancy sauces. So, kind of like did my own. And I'm just going to stick these in here, my chicken. And the skin is kind of like coming off. But you know what I tell you, I don't eat the skin anyway. So, I got the legs going on there. Some extra fat that I got there. My thighs. It's going to place all this good loving. I don't know what this extra skin that I cut off that I didn't take off there. I want it in this salt water chicken. I can't put my hands too much in the salt because I have high blood pressure. And I'm just going to let this sit for about 30 minutes. Wow. Now it's time to make the dip sauce. We're going to be making Be Sure to Cook dip sauce. Okay, so we need 1 cup of your famous or whatever hot sauce you want to use. So we're going to pour 1 cup of hot sauce, of your favorite hot sauce. You know, it could be any one, Louisiana, Red Hot, whatever you pick, your homemade hot sauce. Okay, I'm going to get a spatula because I'm greedy and I want all of this out. First thing I'm going to use, 1/2 teaspoon of Obey. I like Obey. Obey, people say Obey, but Obey gives a little something that you don't know. I'm using a 1/2 teaspoon of my famous Mrs. Dash. Blend that is. Okay, and as I'm doing this, I'm going to be putting the tops back on everything. Then I'm using a 1/2 teaspoon. Everything's going to be 1/2. White pepper. I like white pepper. White pepper is really good. It hides the look of pepper, and it tastes so much different. My 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. 1/2 teaspoon of paprika. 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. But it don't have to say cayenne pepper because ground red pepper is cayenne pepper. So let me show you. I'm taking the top off, guys. So it is red pepper, which is cayenne pepper. And you want to make sure that is really a half teaspoon because that stuff is spicy. Okay, let's put the tops on these. Then we're going to add some cracked black pepper. And I say crack because it's already got white pepper in there. So just crack a little bit to your taste. You know, not a lot, just a little. Maybe 1/4 teaspoon if you have to measure. I just crack, I know what a 1/2 teaspoon is, but it's cracked black pepper. Okay, we're gonna mix this sucker up. Pouring 1/3 cup of good honey. You know, any kind of honey you want, but this is a really good sweet honey. Oh, I need to get my spatula. Let me get my spatula. Putting 1.5 tablespoons of sugar. And I'm using a different kind of sugar because I use the equal packs. But you don't have to, you can use regular sugar. We're gonna mix all this up. I know it looks like, oh, what is she making? It is slap time juice. Oh, it's gonna be good. Make sure you get a great hot sauce. And this is gonna be mixed a lot. And you have to taste it, guys. If it's not, it's supposed to be hot and sweet. And what you're gonna do, after you mix it up really good, make sure you get those seasons mixed up in there really good. After you've been mixing up for a while, you drop a little bit, you taste it. It's supposed to be a hot and a sweet. Seems like I need a little bit more honey. So put about 2 to 3 tablespoons. Okay, so you want 1/3 cup of honey and then 3 tablespoons. I'm trying to measure it for you guys. And after you mix this up really good, taste it. If it's not sweet enough, add some more honey to it. And don't forget your packs of sugar. Or you can, I mean, I said packs of sugar, but you're using 2 teaspoons of sugar or 1.5 teaspoons. And if you need it sweet, use 2 teaspoons if you make it a big sauce. Because I think I'm giving you the recipe for the little small one that I make. Okay, so make sure this is, and this is the best sauce ever. Now, it's a recipe in here that it's my family's recipe that, you know, we made up. So some of this stuff that you see in here, you know, it's a secret. So it's just one thing that's in here that, you know, I didn't put in there, but that sauce that I'm giving you that I'm fixing is delicious. And it's just the same as what I'm making, but something different that I added in here. But that's my family's recipe, and I can't give you that. But I can give you some of it that's just as good. Okay, so make sure you mix this up. You can refrigerate this. You can keep this in the refrigerator for a couple days. You can dip chicken with it, have over family, dip your chicken in it, and it's great. And I'm going to be frying my chicken, and I'm going to be using my regular old batter that I always use. You've seen it before. Just go to one of my shows where I'm doing one of my fried dishes. I have gave out that recipe so many times for my flour mix. And you're going to soak that chicken for about an hour or 30 minutes. You're going to drain it, get rid of it, drain it, let it drain, and you're going to flour your chicken, and we're going to fry it. Then we're going to dip this sauce, and we're going to put it in a rack and put it in the oven. It's going to be delicious. Now I got my sauce sitting there marinating. Now I got out my flour mix, and what I did is I strained my chicken and got it out of the salt water, and I got it sitting up underneath the plate, and it's dripping so I can get all the water off the chicken. This is my flour mix that I made, that I make for everything. You can go to one of my recipes below. There's a pork chop recipe, there's a fried chicken recipe, there's all kind of different recipes using the same flour mix because it is so good. So I just make sure every time you use your flour mix, make sure at the end of whenever you're using it, you take a strainer. But here's what it looks like, guys, and I wanted you to get it. Something that is very mush. So mesh. I'm sorry, I'm saying stuff wrong. I have a speech problem. See this right here? It's fine. So when you put your flour in and you sift it, because you just want to sift it, it's going to leave all the crumbs that you cooked with, that you put in, like if you did your chicken or your pork chop, it gathers those up, you discard those, and you got fresh flour ready to start and fry again. So make sure you do that. So we're going to take this over. And at the end, when you do this, the only reason why I'm mixing this up, because all of my seasoning comes on top after I get through doing that every time I do that. Until it gets so low that I have to make more. So let's go over here and let's start dipping this chicken. Okay, I got my grease heating up. And I've got this wonderful grease. And what I do is I take my flour, I do a little pinch, and I sprinkle it in there to make sure, you know, the grease is hot enough. And it doesn't seem like it's that hot. So I'm going to turn this up on about a medium. Give it about a couple of minutes. Get this nice and hot. We already got the chicken over here. We got the flour. We got the chicken draining. And we have our flour mix. And we're just waiting on grease. A pinch. And that is ready because it's frying up. I've got 2 thighs and a breast. When I cut up this breast, I cut them in whole breasts and I cut it in half to give it a different, you know, have more pieces, because this was a really, really big breast, and I just cut it in half. And what I'm doing is I'm taking my flour mix and I am just going to, you know, make sure I flour both sides. This is a big thigh here, a humongous thigh. I didn't want to make it that big, but that's okay. And I cut up this chicken all different types of pieces and ways and stuff. I'm not a really good chicken cutter, but I know how to do it. I used to watch my grandmother all the time, but I haven't done it in a long time, and my knife wasn't very sharp like I really wanted it to be. But like I said, I like sharp knife, but not that sharp. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the chicken and I'm patting it, and I'm putting the flour over it, and I'm making sure I cover all the pieces, but I don't want a lot of. I'm going to drop it in here with this one. And I'm shaking it because I don't want all that. I got those chickens dropped in there, and right here it kind of like, look, splattered. The grease splattered up on me. See that grease right there? Splattered up it and tried to burn me. That's why I jumped and said, that hurt. I put it in there. I should have just took it, and I should have took it and put it backwards but I didn't. And oh well, it's done. Okay, so we're going to fry up this chicken, get them nice and crispy. Then we're going to dip them. And we're going to put these bad boys on in the oven, and it's just on the warm, so all that good seasoning can soak into that. Got a small breast. My other chicken is still cooking, but this small breast was done. I'm going to take it and I'm going to dip it into my sauce. See, this is the way we got it, and I'm going to turn it around. So I'm going to take off the foil. I'm going to dip this chicken in here and make sure it's covered good. I'm going to put this on the rack, and then after I put them on the rack, I'm going to put them all on there. I've got other chicken done, and I'm going to do it. So I'm going to fry up the rest of all these chickens, and I'm going to dip it in this sauce like this, and I'm going to put it on the rack, and I'll come back and I'll show you then. Okay, now I got my chicken out, and I've been dipping it, and you can like let it drain a little bit, and then dip it more than one time. Dip it 3 or 4 times. Make sure you get a nice coating on that. And I just kind of flip it over and make sure it just smother in that sauce. I take some tongs and I just let this drain. And then I put it right back on here. And see, these just came out. So you need to dip them and put them on a plate or a platter or whatever. And then let them set. And then dip them 1 more time or 3 more times. Because the more you dip them, it really gets that flavor. See, now the coating on here is a little darker coating. Look at that. And then I do the same with the leg and a wing. I put a wing back in there because these just came out. And I'm just going to dip them again, over and over and over. Yeah. Okay, guys, here is my dip fried chicken. Sauce right here on the side for extra sauce to get in the middle of that. Fried chicken, and it's been dipped in. Guys, please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is Be Sure to Cook's dip sauce with fried chicken. And it's dipped into Be Sure to Cook's dip sauce. So, hey, come back and we can do other shows and other things. Hey, I hope you like my dip chicken. See you next time. Bye.